Hi guys, it's Geeky Girl 24 here with the second in her newest vlog video series. Wait, just vlog series. And I don't know why I referred to myself as her. That didn't quite make any sense. Anyway, last video I talked about the newest Fantastic Beasts film. I had a good ramble about that. So this week I'm going to be talking about a question that's part of one of the challenges that I've taken on for this month. Because my Tumblr blog is a little bit dead at the moment, like I haven't really posted any new stuff, I decided to take on a Disney challenge that I found on Pinterest. So yesterday I answered the question of what was my favourite Walt Disney Studios animated film, which is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Today the question is, what is your favourite Pixar film? Now, had I been asked that, I think probably last year, I'm not sure what my answer would have been. It probably would have been a toss-up between Incredibles or Monsters Inc. However, at the beginning of this year in January, I think it is one of my favourite animated films ever, and that is COCO. Now, COCO is, in my opinion, one of the best Pixar film that they have done, possibly ever. I mean, in the last few years, it has been just sequels. Like if I see a trailer for another Cars movie, or I don't know why they're doing Toy Story 4. How they left Toy Story 3 was perfect. They don't need to, bring me down even further. So yeah, so for them to come up with a new and original idea was actually brilliant, and I was quite eager to see it. I wasn't interested in the trailer, but I heard good reviews, and I mean, I'm sure some people have actually seen the COCO fanfiction that I'm writing. I think people can safely say it is one of my favourite films. And in this video, I'm going to go into detail about why it's one of my favourite films. Okay, if you see me kind of looking down here, it is because I've got my script. Because once again, I can't do this ad-lib. Okay, so the first point that I'm going to make is that COCO has some of the best visual animated effects that I've seen in a Pixar movie in a very long time. Like, I think fairly near the beginning, you get a glimpse of the Land of the Dead, and it is breathtaking. I mean, there are so many colours. I mean, you can tell the level of detail and thought that they put into it. I mean, there's the lights from the houses. There's the bright orange of the Marigold Petal Bridge that's kind of showing the magic. They thought about how people would actually get to the bridge, like this customs area. They thought about public transport. I mean, they have literally thought of it all in this film, and it really shows. You can actually tell the level of thought that they've put into it. And it's just, and the colours that they use in it. I mean, I didn't really know a lot about the Day of the Dead before this film came out. It wasn't something I'd ever researched, but when I saw this, I thought, I'll have a little bit of a look, see what it's actually about. And the colours that they use in this film actually do reflect the bright colours that are used in this celebration. So I thought that was really well done. The second point of why this is possibly my favourite Pixar film is that it has a really beautiful message. Okay, and it can be applied to both children and adults, and it's sometimes you have to choose between your family and following your dreams. In COCO, Miguel, who absolutely adores music, is forced to go against his family in order to follow his dreams, because his family are so opposed to the idea of music after Miguel's great-great-grandfather ended up following his dreams and abandoning his family. So it's all about that kind of, they're preventing Miguel from following his dreams, which causes a rift between him and his family. Okay? And it also kind of deals with the idea of making up for past mistakes. And it is an adult issue that it talks about. Ignore that sound, that's my email. Shout out to Sophia Winters, who I'm actually kind of talking to at the moment. Shout out to her for that. So the message that it sends, it is a fairly adult kind of message, because I think you get to about college, university time, and that's when you start to follow your dreams, and that's when there may be a rift starting between you, but it deals with it in a way that the children can understand. But overall, the entire theme is that no matter what happens, part of being family is that, you know, your family is always going to be with you, no matter what. And I think that is an important message to take from it. I mentioned earlier that I didn't really know much about Mexican culture and the Day of the Dead. So another thing that's good about COCO is that apparently it actually does really kind of reflect what happened very accurately, and I think that's really important. Like, I remember reading about another animated film called The Prince of Egypt and how many people came together to work on that to make it such a good film. And I think it's important when you get the culture right and when you get the specific details of that culture and any celebrations that they take part in. It's very important that you get that right. Otherwise, you know, you're kind of ostracizing a part of society that may want to watch it. Okay, another point is the music is phenomenal. It is, honest to God, like, Pixar films don't tend to be as musical as Walt Disney ones. Sorry, I've got my cat stabbing me in the back with the claws. Pixar films don't tend to be as musical, but it was a really important part of this film, and the music that was created is just beautiful. I mean, I think my utmost favourites were Un Poco Loco, which I will belt from the top of my lungs. I absolutely love it. And Remember Me, those two are my absolute favourites. And, you know, you'll catch me singing them at any time of the year. They are just absolutely beautiful. So most of the music in the film was sung in Spanish, and I think only one song ended up being sung in English. Now, the main song, which was Remember Me, highlights the overall message of the film, but it made it so emotional. Now, if you haven't seen COCO, I wouldn't advise watching the rest of this because it is, you know, it isn't spoiler free. But with the music and Remember Me makes COCO a very touching film. Now, I mean, Pixar are like Disney, they don't shy away from making you cry like this. The first 4 minutes of that, so Finding Nemo, Toy Story, Monsters Inc., the characters find a way into your heart and their struggles actually become your own. So, with the importance of family in this one, it was going to be a touching film. And with it being a touching film, I have to say, it actually kind of emotionally destroys you. Like, I didn't think I was going to need to bring tissues, but I should have really brought tissues when I saw this film, because it was just so emotional. And I think this is part through with the way they wrote the characters. Now, yes, Miguel's struggle was, you know, it's definitely out there. Everybody's had a bit of a struggle with their family regarding what they want to do in life. And so you kind of relate to Miguel a lot. But my favourite character, and one that I think could have been just comedic relief, was Hector. Now, at first, yes, it is Hector who is the comedic relief, and it's his kind of role that he's going to help Miguel find his great-great-granddad, who Miguel believes to be a famous singer. Now, you know, and Hector wasn't just funny, he had that kind of emotional side to him. He wasn't allowed to cross the bridge and he wasn't going to see his family again. And for a long time in the film, we thought that was just that. Until you find out the truth. And one of the best twists in Pixar history, I think, was finding out that Hector was Miguel's great-great-granddad and that he was in fact murdered by this famous musician and his song stolen. It was just, they're so complex characters. It was a fairly complex plot. I mean, you couldn't help but, like I said, I do love Hector. I think he's one of my favourite characters. But you learn to love like the other quirky characters in it, like Mama Imelda, who was Hector's wife. You kind of love her twin brothers, the kind of the Land of the Dead family. Even Ernesto de la Cruz, who was the famous singer. Yes, he was a bad guy, but there was just a little something charming about him that, you know, you kind of thought, yeah, okay, I can believe him being Miguel's granddad. Yeah, of course I can. and that was made the shock a little bit more brutal. You just think, oh, I trusted him, and you just think, yeah, he was a trusted person. And they're beautiful characters and really, really complex. And you know what? The way they bounced off each other, these characters, was just brilliant. I mean, Miguel and Hector had a adorable friendship for most of the film, and yeah, it's a fantastic film. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I do advise you to go and see it immediately. I personally hope there will be, maybe not a sequel, because I'm not sure how much further they can go, but maybe a prequel. I think that could be a good idea, kind of seeing Hector's life with Imelda. I mean, I'll be honest, I think fanfiction story writers have kind of got it all covered, but it would be nice to see. So yeah, so that's my kind of video for this week, talking about my favourite Pixar film, Coco. And once again, if you have any questions or any subjects that you'd like me to cover in the next videos, then please don't hesitate to just pop me a message. Toodaloo.